So I'm going to tell you about the 10 DIY projects that I've done since the quarantine started. Hey, what's up? It's Vince from A Typical Driver here. Haven't been doing too much driving lately though because of the quarantine, but I have been spending a lot more time in my garage. And that's given me the chance to get some DIY projects done that I've been putting off for way too long. I imagine some of you are working on your own DIY projects. Let me know in the comments down below what you're working on, and if you're not, maybe this video will inspire you to get out to the garage and do some of the things you've been putting off. I get a huge sense of satisfaction from working on and fixing my own cars. Maybe not as much as I get from driving them, but I do enjoy getting my hands dirty and actually doing some projects. So I'm going to tell you about the 10 DIY projects that I've done since the quarantine started.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's tonight's top 10.
So this first one was me redoing the sagging Lotus headliner, and actually this is probably one of my most ambitious projects because I've never done anything with interior trim or upholstery before, so I hadn't done anything like this before. But I figured if it didn't turn out well, I could always just take it to a professional if I had to. And knowing that I eventually am going to need to do the entire roof, the hardtop of the Lotus, this was sort of a practice run because this is just like the trim piece that goes across the front of the windshield and mounts up to the hardtop. All right, so I think that turned out not too bad for a first try, never having done any interior work before, any upholstery work. Definitely looks a lot smoother and a lot nicer. I just need to kind of dust it off after it dries here, but generally pretty good. So after 11 years of ownership, I finally put an aftermarket exhaust on my Lotus. I was always nervous because of the strict sound requirements at Laguna Seca, which is where I do most of my track days. I actually filmed the whole install, but I managed to fry my SD card and lost all that footage. Next up was new front rotors and brake pads for the 911. Again, fairly standard brake job, nothing complicated if you've done it before, and I always change my own brakes. On the Porsche, it was great because everything came apart and went back together super easily. I did break one wear sensor, so if you're going to do this job, make sure you have a couple of spares on hand. Knowing that the cars were going to be in quarantine for a while, I took the opportunity to wash them all, including my wife's, and since they're garage, they're staying really clean. I even decided to take out this Lotus car cover that came with my car 11 plus years ago. I've never used it. One thing I realized though was that I need a new wash mitt really bad, so I ordered some new ones. Alright guys, so you know that I'm all about enjoying your car as much as possible, and usually that means driving it and really getting out there having fun with your car. I actually just got back from the Coastal Range Rally, which I did 650 miles over 3 days in the Lotus Elise, and it was awesome. I had a great time. Miles equals smiles. The more you drive, the more fun you're going to have. But now we're in this quarantine situation with COVID-19, and so I figured, hey, you know, enjoying your car also means maintaining it and making sure that it stays nice so that you can enjoy it in all those opportunities. And if you're going to put a lot of miles on your cars, like I like to try to do, you got to take care of them. Now that we're not going anywhere for a while, I decided it was time to do a little leather conditioner, which I've never done on this car. It's got 32,000 miles on it. I've owned it since it was 6,000 miles. I don't think I've ever really conditioned the leather. Obviously I clean it and take care of it, but had never done the Leatherique conditioner on it. So I went ahead and applied that today. We'll see how it goes after 24 or 48 hours. Come back, clean it up, use the Pristine Clean on it, and we should be done. I don't know if this is a common issue on 911s or not, but these engine badges were really tarnished, and even though they're covered by the engine cover, it was bothering me. So I took out my orbital polisher and gave it a go. I think they turned out pretty well. They're not perfect, but they're not bad. I finished it with some sealant to protect it and make sure it stays nice. Okay, so not car related, but I polished the top of our dryer while I had my polisher out. I figured, what the hell? 3 minutes to install a new front splitter on the 911. Check out the link. So Sal actually took out 3 dents from this door, and I think it turned out really nice. He took out one really big dent that was over here. All of these didn't affect the paint really at all. And he took out another one that was somewhere over here, and another one that was down at this crease line down here. And highly recommend Sal. I think he did a fabulous job on this. All right, so we've got some of these kind of old cabinets here that have been here since I moved into the place, probably since the place has been built. And we're actually going to be replacing those with some new cabinets. And these are the new cabinets. I am super excited, but tune in to the next video to see what they look like.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.